After configuring OSPF, we can verify the OSPF. There are several commands for understanding OSPF status and configuration. Keeping them straight can help you troubleshoot OSPF issues faster. Commands that are used to verify and troubleshoot an OSPF networks are these. These are like first show IP protocols. Now first we'll say show IP route. It shows the routing table of our any routing, like whatever routing we configure. We configure static routing, we configure dynamic routing using RIP, IGRP, whatever. OSPF. If we want to see the routing table, then we give command show IP route. Now show IP protocols shows that it displays OSPF status and process ID and neighbors gateway, and it also shows area types configured, that is normal area, stub area, or not so stubby area, etc. Lastly, it lists protocol that are being redistributed and networks that are being advertised, and you can use this command to troubleshoot neighbor relationship and missing routes and problems with summarization and filtering. Now this command says show IP protocols. Now it means what? It will show any protocol, like whatever protocol we configure. Even if we configure RIP or IGRP, even EIGRP, so it will show that is there any protocol configured there. So it shows the detailed information about that protocol. We have configured OSPF, so we will see the information about OSPF. Then we have another command to check, that is show IP route OSPF. Show IP route shows the default routing table. This show IP route OSPF displays the routes that are being received from neighbors and their administrative distances. So what are the routes we have received from the neighbor? And it also shows the cumulative cost metric to reach a particular subnet and what the root source and interface is. And you can use this command to troubleshoot general issues, missing routes and problems with summarization and filtering. So problem with summarization and filtering also can be resolved by checking the detailed information about this. OSPF received the route information from neighbors. Then we have this command show IP OSPF interfaces. This displays the OSPF interfaces. That means it displays the interfaces where we have enabled the OSPF protocol, and it also shows the type of network, neighbor count, type of authentication, and timer values. You can use this command to troubleshoot neighbor relationship, local configuration issues, and routing problems. Then we have command show IP OSPF neighbors. This command displays the active fully adjacent neighbors, router ID of neighbors, and neighbors state or DR state, that is either it is DR or non-DR routers, and IP address interfaces and dead time of neighbors. And you can use this command to troubleshoot neighbor relationship and local configuration issues. Then we have command show IP OSPF database. This displays the link state advertisement types per area, advertising router, link ID, etc. Subnet and edge. You can use this command to troubleshoot missing routes and filtering problems and general issues. So it shows the display, it displays the information about the database and the information about the LSA messages. Then show IP OSPF border router. Border router, that means it will show you the router which is in the border. So it displays the router ID, advertising router, area, and area border router or autonomous system border router. ASBR means it is the autonomous system border router, which is sitting in between the autonomous your single autonomous or and the other autonomous system. So the router which is connecting your autonomous system to other autonomous system, it is called autonomous system border router. So if you are having that kind of router, so it will show you the information about it. Or connecting two areas, it is called area border router. And cost details, it detail about the cost. You can use this command to troubleshoot missing routes, filtering problems, and general issues. And show IP OSPF. This command displays the process ID, configuration area, number of types of areas. It also shows the number of times the SPF algorithm is executed. If you see a very high number of SPF calculation, it could be a flapping blocker or an interface with an issue. That means if the interface is just keep connecting and disconnecting, then you will see lots of algorithm exchange, like you will see lots of calculation. Lots of calculation. Why it is showing the calculation? Because it calculates the cost for the path. So when the link connects and disconnects, so it happens what? It recalculates every time. When the link disconnects, it says it's dead. Then when it connects again, then it has to recalculate it. Then you can use this command to troubleshoot missing routes, filtering problems, and normal general issues. These all commands are for showing you the detailed information. So these commands is for checking these information about OSPF. Show IP protocols, show IP root display, root OSPF. Then you have show IP OSPF interfaces, show IP OSPF neighbors, show IP OSPF database, show IP OSPF border router, and only show IP OSPF. Let's see how it shows the information on router. So here we have configure OSPF. So I will go with this router 2 to check this command. All the show commands we can run in the privilege mode. Here I will check show IP protocols. Now it shows that what protocol we have configured. We have configured routing OSPF process ID 10. It is outgoing update filter list for all interfaces is not set. That means we can configure the filtering also for which network we want to send the information and which network we don't want to send. So incoming outgoing filter is not set, but if it is configured, then it will show. This is the router ID for this router. Number of areas in this router is only one area, that is normal area. There is no stub area, there is not so stubby area, there is no any other areas are there. One more information is there, it is called maximum path is equal to 4. Now this means what? If suppose you are connecting to, you are having a path, like you are reaching some network and you are having multiple paths to reach that network. So sometime you may have equal paths. What happens if the router gets the equal path to reach a particular destination network? Then it uses all those paths. For example, we have this router here, and it is connected to this network, and there is another router which is connecting another network. Now if I want to go to this network, from this network, if I want to go to this network, so sometime we may have multiple paths. Like if suppose we have a path here, like this, I can go from here to reach this network, or I can go from here or even suppose I can go from here. Now in this scenario, what happened? We have two paths which is equal. That means suppose when this router calculates the cost for these three paths. So for example, this path get the cost of, let's say example 65. Now if this path is also getting the same cost 65. Now what happened? We have two same cost path. Now what this router will do? It will use both the path. That means when you check the routing table of this router, you will see both the path in the routing table. When you give show IP route command, you will see both the path for this network. for this single network. Now what it do with these two paths? It do what? It will do load balancing. Load balancing, that means when it wants to send multiple data to this network, what it will do? It will send one packet to this link, other packet to this link. So if he wants to send 10 packets, so if you have only one path, so all the 10 packets will go to single path. But when you are having two same equal paths, then what it do? It do load balancing. That means it will send one packet from here, then second packet from here, then third, fourth, sixth, seventh. So it will do what? It will use both the path to reach the destination very quickly. So it will speed up the process also, and it will give you benefit of using two paths. So you can do load balancing. Sometime if this link is busy, then it will use this link more. If it is busy, then it will use this link. But it will try to send both data on both the path equal, because both the paths are what? Equal. Now how much equal path it can support? OSPF can support 4 equal paths. Like for example, if it gets 4 paths which is equal to reach the destination, or all the paths are having same 65 cost, then what it will do? It will use all the 4 paths. But if you have 5 equal paths, then it will not use that 5th one, because it can use only 4 equal paths. So it can use all these 4 paths, but if suppose this path is also 65, so it will not use this path, because it will support maximum 4 equal paths. So show OSPF command shows you about the router ID, OSPF 10, process ID, and information about the SPF algorithm, delay and timing of update. Then you have other information is what? When you give question mark here, it shows information about these command. Like you can run these command to check these information. For example, you want to see the border router, so you will give command show IP OSPF border routers. Now it is showing here no border routers. If you see, when I run this command, OSPF process ID 10 internal routing table, and it is saying that for code I means intra area route, and capital I means inter area route. That means if you get any route from outside your area, it will say I. If you get any route within the area, it will get I, a small I. But there is no border router here, because we have not, in this topology we don't have any border router. In this topology we don't have any border router. All the networks and all the routers are in single area, that is area 0. If you want to see the border router, you have to configure it first. You have to configure multiple areas. Now I can check the database also. I can check the information about the OSPF databases. It is getting the information like what is the router ID, what is the process ID, what is the area number we have, and what are the links we have in this area, which is the advertisement router, and what is the age of that router, sequence, text domain, how many links we have on that. Then we can check the neighbors information. Now we can see the neighbors also. Now neighbor means what? It is having 2 neighbors. This is the neighbor's router ID. This router 2 has 2 neighbors, which is router 1 and router 2, router 1 and router 3. And from router 1, this is the router ID. It is primary router, full state, how many times it has get the update, then what is the address it is connected, then which is the interface it is connected, then the router 3 is having this router ID, and what is the timer and what is the address which is connected, and interface which is connected to this router. Like for example, if you can see here, we are in router 2, and neighbor is router 1, which is connected with this link, and this is the IP of that link, and the router ID is also actually same for this router 1. As you can see, both are same, the router ID and the connected link and address of that link, both are same. Why? Because this is the maximum IP of this router, and that becomes router ID. Now other neighbor is router 3, which is connected with this interface, but the router ID is this 60, because the maximum IP will become the router ID. So here you can see the other neighbor we have connected with this IP from this interface, but the router ID is this. So this is two neighbors this router has. Then we can check the information about interfaces, and this is showing the information about the interface, like fast Ethernet, it is up, link is up, and interface is off. The address, what is the address, which area this interface is in, what is the process ID, what is the router ID, type of network, type of broadcast, what is the cost of that interface because it is connected, designated router. Now it is here showing the designated router also. Designated router ID is this DR. So this is our DR. Interface address is this. No backup designated router on this network. There is no backup designated router is available. And this is the timer information. Hello time, hello packet, hello messages sends every 10 seconds. Dead will be 40, after 40 wait for 40 and retransmit after every 5 seconds. Hello due in last 6 seconds, like 6 seconds is there, and after 10 it will again send the hello update, and after 40 hello updates miss, it will say it is dead. These are the indexed queue and other information about this interface. Then you see the other interface information. And who is the neighbor of that interface. So these are the informations we can check by using the show IP command, show IP OSPF command. Then for troubleshooting also we have some commands. For troubleshooting we have command debug. Debug command is basically used for doing the troubleshooting. It is used to debug the neighbor adjacency. First command is debug IP OSPF adjacency. It is to debug the neighbor adjacency, like when the neighbors create the neighborship, the neighbor relationship, then we can see what is the problem. If suppose you are creating, you have configured everything okay, but still they are not creating neighborship, then you can enable this debugging option, and then you can see the command. It is used to troubleshoot the relationship, and it will show us routing updates, issues, and stub network areas also, stub router problem also. So it will give you the messages what they are talking about, like when they exchange messages. So what is happening there? Then you have option to debug IP OSPF events, and it is used to debug the network events, and you can use this command to troubleshoot routing, update issues, conversion issues, and interface flapping. If some interface is flapping, so you can verify that by using this debug command. It will display messages in back, which normally does not display, which normally remains in background. It displays those messages. Then you can debug IP OSPF hello. It is used to debug the neighbor adjacency again, and you can use this command to troubleshoot neighbor relationship, configuration issues, and DR/VDR election problem. So this displays the hello messages, what is going on in behind with these hello messages. So you can do this by checking these 3 debugging commands. So I will do this on this router too again. So it is already happened, it is already created the neighborship, everything is okay, everything is already done. Let's save it, then still we can do this. Debug IP, and you can see you can debug other protocols also. Like you have OSPF options, so you have REPOX options also. You have option for EIGRP also. We want to debug the OSPF, so I say OSPF. What OSPF? I can do debug the adjacency, I can debug the events also. Let's do adjacency and enter. Now it is saying debugging is on. Now when the routers do the adjacency, they display it. You will see the messages on the terminal. But right now it is not doing because they have already done. So what I will do for checking this, we have enabled it in router 2. So what I will do here, I will go to router 3 and I will just disable the port and then enable the port. Let's see what happens when I disable and enable the port which is connected to that router. It is connected port is serial 0/0. So I will go to interface serial 0/0 and I will say shutdown. Now it is shut down. And we can see here what it is saying. Process 10 neighbor this full down. It is also saying that our neighbor is also down. Now let's check what it shows here in this router 2 because we enabled the debugging. Now what happened here? When I shut down, it shows this interface information first, that the interface state is down, that interface which is connected to the router. Then it shows this interface protocol is state is down. Then it shows this about the adjacency, detach. This is also shown on the other side. But now it is showing this extra information here. Build router LSA area 0 router this sequence this. It is down. Now I will do enable it again. But remember it has already done. It has already created the neighborship. Now let's see what it shows here. Now again you can see here the messages because we enabled the debugging. Now you can see the messages. Normally these messages are not shown, but now it is showing these messages because we enabled the debugging. Here it is saying that this is the neighbor, I am creating the adjacency, it is synchronizing, exchanging, it is started from here. It is started from here. The link get up, then we get the option to build the router LSCA. Okay, now again we are getting some message. End of wait on interface, so we are getting one more message. So it is doing whatever it is doing in background, you can see here. Router ID, this is this flag, MTU, this is the router ID, negotiation is done, we are the slave, and it is saying that we are the slave because designated router is in different router, this is not router 2. Then it is saying these messages are coming, exchange, state exchange, then it is synchronized, full state, again it is doing the adjacency for the other router ID, and all is this. If you want to stop the debugging, you put no debug IP OSPF adjacency. Now this is disabled. Then we can enable what? Debug IP OSPF. Just a minute. So I can also debug the events. Now events, that means whatever events happening in the background, it will show. When we enable it, you can see the events, what is happening in the background, and now you can see what is happening here. It is saying receive hello from this router ID, area, and from this interface. And then it is saying again, you see, end of processing the hello. So every 10 seconds it will get the hello messages, and you can verify this, and you can see it's getting hello messages, then processing it, then getting it, then again processing it. So this is keeps going on in the background, but if you face any problem, then you can check it. You can see the problem here. And if you want to disable this, you can just put no IP, no debug IP OSPF events, and now it is disabled again. So normally we enable this only when we face any problem. Otherwise we don't enable this, because it will occupy your terminal and it keep sending the messages. So we enable this only when we require to do the troubleshooting. So these are the troubleshooting commands. Now if we want to remove OSPF, so what we do, we go to this OSPF again, config mode again. Now if you want to remove, now first, if suppose you are having 3 networks, in this OSPF we have configured we have 3 networks configured with this OSPF. We have 3 network configured with this OSPF. Now if I want to remove any particular network from this OSPF, then I can do what? I will go to the OSPF first, OSPF, router OSPF, and the process ID, the same process ID which I used. Then if I want to remove some particular network, let's for example I want to remove this network. So I have used this command to assign the network, introduce the network 30.0.0, then this is the wildcard bit I used with area 0. This was the command I used to introduce this network. So what I will do, I will put no at the beginning. So it will remove this network from the routing, OSPF routing. When I press enter, now when I check show IP protocol, now you will see that network is not there. Not there because we have removed the network. Now if I want to remove OSPF completely, I just don't want to remove a particular network, I just want to remove the OSPF completely. So I'll go to the config mode here. I will not go inside the OSPF, I will exit from here. And in the configuration mode, we use this command router OSPF and process ID to enable the OSPF. So I will do what? I will put no at the beginning of this command. So it will say, it goes like no router OSPF and the process ID. And this will do what? It will remove the OSPF from this router. Now when I check show IP protocols, it says no, there is no protocol because we have removed the OSPF. This is how we can verify the information about OSPF, and finally if we want, then we can remove OSPF information. We can remove a particular network from it, or we can even remove the whole OSPF.